the last remaining piece from a once great Boston Celtics championship squad. It looked like Rajon Rondo was ready to lead the Boston Celtics into a new era in Boston Celtics history. With the recent acquisition of Marcus Smart and James Young in the 2014 NBA draft, it looks like Rajon Rondo may be on the move this offseason. So I'm here today to give you a video counting down my top 3 trade destinations for Rajon Rondo. Now heading into next season, Rajon Rondo holds a cap figure of approximately $12 million, and the Boston Celtics also have a $13 million trade exception from the Paul Pierce trade to the Brooklyn Nets and the Courtney Lee deal for Jared Bayless from the Grizzlies, which means they'll be able to take on an additional $13 million if they so please in a Rajon Rondo deal. Now number 3 on my countdown for best destinations for Rajon Rondo are the Charlotte Hornets, a team on the rise in the East. With the recent acquisition of Noah Vonleh in the NBA draft, it looks like the Charlotte Hornets are finally beginning to piece together a core to build towards the future and maybe even championship contention someday. But they have yet to find that one true star player to lead their franchise into that playoff territory. Now my potential trade would send Michael Kidd-Gilchrist to the Boston Celtics, along with other pieces, and Rajon Rondo to the Hornets, I should say. Rajon Rondo would take on the point guard role for the Hornets, with Kemba Walker moving to the 2, which some would say would be his more natural position. Now this backcourt may be undersized, but Rajon Rondo does have great length, and I think would be able to guard 2s fairly easily. The Celtics in return would receive Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, a good prospect who they can develop in their rebuilding process. Now while this trade may not by itself make the Charlotte Hornets championship contenders, it gets them on their way. I could see them easily competing for maybe a 4th or 3rd seed in the East, competing with even the Bulls and Pacers at some points in this season. But more depth on the roster will be needed, especially at the small forward position. It also varies very much depending on the developments of Noah Vonleh at the power forward position. But I believe this trade gives the Charlotte Hornets a good core to build on heading into the future. Now number 2 on my top destinations for Rajon Rondo is the Sacramento Kings. Now while you may look at their record from last year and say this team is fairly poor, why would they trade for such a piece when it won't even bring them close to playoff contention? Well, this may seem to be the case, but the Sacramento Kings do have a lot of good pieces in case, such as newly drafted Nick Stauskas, a great shooter at the shooting guard position, and Rudy Gay, who has received a lot of flack over the last few years for being a gunner, vastly improved his field goal percentage on Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings already have a franchise center in place as well in Boogie Cousins, but they have yet to show any form of contention in the Western Conference, the tough Western Conference, I must add. Now an addition of Rajon Rondo would give them a solid starting 5 to start building their team around as their pieces develop, such as raw Derek Williams and rookie Nick Stauskas. It would also show franchise center Boogie Cousins that the Kings are not happy with being dwellers in the Western Conference, which is something important to note with the recent Kevin Love trade rumors, showing that your franchise pieces will not always stick around, waiting for you to build a team around them. Now number 1 on my destinations for Rajon Rondo is the Dallas Mavericks. This is a team which Mark Cuban even stated is in win now mode, and he will be aggressive in free agency. But I must also think this will make him aggressive with trades and other such things. Now this team just recently acquired Tyson Chandler, a key piece from their 2011 championship, as well as Raymond Felton. They also have good shooting guard in Monte Ellis, and one of the best offensive power forwards of all time in Dirk Nowitzki. Now an addition of Rajon Rondo would most likely involve Raymond Felton heading to the Celtics, and it would immediately upgrade the Dallas Mavericks to what I believe would be championship contenders. The pick and roll possibilities between Rajon Rondo and Dirk Nowitzki would be unbelievable to see. And it'd be also unbelievable to see what Rick Carlisle would build for plays around these two star players. Now the biggest question with this starting lineup, however, is the small forward position, with both Sean Merriman and Vince Carter being free agents this year. They do have third-year swingman Jay Crowder on the roster, but I'm unsure if he's ready to be a starter on a championship contender. But I know Mark Cuban will do his best to fill this position, as he has made it clear he wants to win one more with Dirk. And with Dirk saying that he is already willing to take a pay cut next year, this is a team that could have a championship window of anywhere from 2 to 4 years, I would say. I believe this is the best fit for Rajon Rondo, and I'd really like to see him land here. Now thank you for listening. Please subscribe and comment below where you think Danny Ainge will end up sending Rondo this offseason.